A husband's shattered corpse lies in a prison's cold grip, his mangled remains unfit for an open casket goodbye, sealing a tragedy that masks a sinister lie. John Atkinson, a driven construction manager, is pronounced dead after a savage Yankton Correctional Center brawl, yet his wife, Britney Atkinson, swiftly claims a $650,000 insurance payout and weds Jeff Sunderland amid Lake Andes revelry. Mere hours after John's funeral, Britney's radiant smile defies grief, a chilling masquerade of betrayal. Then, a blood-drenched prison jumpsuit arrives at her office, its fabric grotesquely woven with John's pulverized teeth and a scrawled note. "Your sins breathe." This gruesome relic, a vow of exposure, ignites a murder mystery in South Dakota as neighbor Richard Hardy's piercing gaze hints at a conspiracy's pulse. Is John truly gone, or stalking his betrayer? Why did Britney profit so coldly? Who crafted this tooth-strewn omen, and what horrors fester in their 12-year marriage? As the hashtag Justice for John surges, this true crime saga's unanswered shadows promise a darkness too vile to escape, clutching viewers in a relentless spiral of dread and fascination. In the quiet sprawl of Meadowview Estates, Garretson, South Dakota, Britney Atkinson and John Atkinson craft an enviable facade, their 12-year marriage a beacon of success to neighbors and friends. Britney, a sharp business consultant at Pinnacle Consulting, commands respect with her poised demeanor, while John, a construction manager steering renewable energy startups, radiates ambition. Their two-story home, adorned with curated art and manicured lawns, hosts community barbecues where laughter masks a festering strain. Beneath the polished surface, financial debts from John's ventures gnaw at their stability, and his late-night meetings leave Britney isolated, her heart adrift in a sea of unmet promises. This true crime saga begins, a murder mystery woven with betrayal, as the Atkinsons' perfect image teeters on collapse. Britney's resentment simmers, her once warm smiles now brittle. John, consumed by business, grows distant, their conversations reduced to curt exchanges over bills. At Pinnacle Consulting, Britney finds solace in Jeff Sunderland, a charismatic colleague whose attentive gaze rekindles her sense of worth. Their professional bond, forged over client pitches, turns illicit in the shadows, a spark of passion igniting a dangerous resolve. Jeff's whispered assurances fuel Britney's fantasies of freedom, not through divorce, but something far darker, a permanent escape from John's orbit. The couple's public unity, showcased at Garretson's Harvest Festival, belies a private fracture, with neighbor Vianna Quill noting Britney's distracted glances, as if plotting an unseen path. Financial records, later uncovered, reveal the Atkinsons' mounting debt, with John's startups bleeding cash. Britney, privy to his accounts, sees opportunity in chaos. Jeff, equally cunning, proposes exploiting John's vulnerabilities, planting seeds of a conspiracy that will redefine their future. In hushed meetings at a Sioux Falls diner, they map a plan to frame John for embezzlement, leveraging Britney's access to financial systems. Her role as the supportive wife becomes a mask, each smile a calculated step toward his downfall. Community members, like Torrin Vale, recall John's weary optimism, unaware of the noose tightening around him, a secret Britney guards with chilling precision. As the Atkinsons host a final neighborhood potluck, Britney's eyes linger on Jeff across the yard, their shared glance a silent pact. The true crime narrative takes root, its tendrils of fraud and deception poised to ensnare John in a web he cannot see. Britney's heart races, not with love, but with the thrill of a life unshackled, a murder mystery waiting to erupt. The Meadowview Estate's tranquility, once a comfort, now feels like a stage for a betrayal so profound it will shatter Garretson's trust, drawing viewers into a vortex of suspense where innocence is the first casualty. Britney Atkinson's ambition morphs into a chilling conspiracy, her Garretson home a facade for a sinister plot to bury her husband, John Atkinson, under lies. With Jeff Sunderland, her lover and Pinnacle Consulting colleague, Britney crafts a meticulous scheme to frame John for embezzlement, exploiting his renewable energy startup's financial disarray. In dimly lit Sioux Falls offices, they forge documents, manipulate ledgers, and funnel anonymous tips to regulatory authorities, each move a dagger in John's unsuspecting back. Britney's public devotion, cheering at John's pitch events, masks her private treachery, a true crime betrayal that sets a murder mystery ablaze, its flames licking at Garretson's quiet streets. The plan unfolds with surgical precision. Britney, leveraging her consulting expertise, fabricates invoices implicating John in siphoning funds, while Jeff plants digital trails on John's work laptop. Their late-night texts, later seized, pulse with cold calculation. He'll never trace it. By February 7, 2021, authorities swarm John's office, arresting him for financial fraud. The evidence, forged bank statements, doctored emails, paints him as a thief, and by September 19, 2021, a jury convicts him, sentencing him to 20 years at Yankton Correctional Center. John's protests of innocence echo in vain, his voice drowned by Britney's crocodile tears at the courthouse, a performance that fools neighbor Lysara Holt, who whispers, "She's broken." Garretson's community reels, the Atkinsons' golden image tarnished. Vianna Quill, a Meadowview Estates regular, recalls John's confusion, his hands trembling as he packed for prison. Britney, meanwhile, plays the martyr, hosting prayer vigils while secretly liquidating joint assets. Jeff, ever her shadow, lingers at her side, their affair now an open secret to those who dare suspect. Financial records reveal Britney's early inquiries to Pinnacle Life Insurance, probing John's policy, a chilling hint of her next move. The true crime saga deepens, each forged document a thread in a conspiracy that binds John to a fate he didn't earn, while Britney's poised grief conceals a heart unburdened by remorse. As John's cell door slams shut, Britney's eyes gleam with triumph, her Meadowview home a stage for a new act. The town, still mourning its fallen construction manager, remains blind to the fraud that festers within, a wrongful death yet to be staged. Britney's calculated steps, each one a betrayal, propel this murder mystery toward a grotesque horizon, where the truth waits like a predator, ready to strike with a horror too vile to imagine, captivating viewers in its unrelenting grip. A prison brawl's savage echo reverberates through Yankton Correctional Center, where John Atkinson's battered body, too ravaged for an open casket, is declared dead, a grim curtain on his 12-year marriage. The news, delivered on October 12, 2022, shakes Garretson, South Dakota, as Britney Atkinson, his business consultant wife, dons a widow's veil, her tears a practiced art. Behind this facade, a true crime conspiracy thrives, with Britney pocketing a $650,000 life insurance payout from Pinnacle Life Insurance, her swift claim chillingly efficient. By January 22, 2023, she weds Jeff Sunderland, her lover and Pinnacle consulting colleague, relocating to Lake Andes's Prairie View, where their renovated mansion becomes a stage for a murder mystery cloaked in celebration. Britney and Jeff transform their new home, its sleek kitchen and sprawling deck, hosting lavish gatherings that dazzle Lake Andes. Their newborn son, cradled in Britney's arms, completes the image of a family reborn, yet shadows of guilt lurk in her fleeting glances. Neighbor Torrin Vale, sipping wine at a barbecue, notes Britney's forced laughter, a brittle mask over an unspoken dread. Financial records, later seized, show Britney funneling insurance funds into renovations and marketing campaigns for her consulting firm, each dollar a silent betrayal of John's memory. Garretson's Meadowview Estates, once their haven, fades into a distant echo, its residents, like Vianna Quill, mourning John's loss while oblivious to the fraud festering in Lake Andes. The Yankton Correctional Center report, sparse but gruesome, describes John's body as unrecognizable, his face and torso mangled beyond repair. Corrections officer Soren Vane, tasked with the paperwork, logs the incident as a routine prison fatality, unaware of the deeper conspiracy. Britney's public grief, shared in a Sioux Falls Gazette obituary, earns sympathy, but her private calls to Jeff, later uncovered, pulse with relief. It's done. The community, still reeling, accepts the tragedy, blind to the wrongful death staged within those concrete walls. Britney's new life, polished on social media with captions like "Rising from Ashes," "Project's Triumph," yet her sleep grows restless, haunted by a truth she believes buried. As Lake Andes embraces the Atkinsons, now Sunderland's, arrival, a darker current stirs. Britney's poised exterior, a testament to her cunning, begins to crack under the weight of her secrets, a murder mystery poised to unravel with a horror too grotesque to foresee. The insurance payout, her new son, her gleaming home, all trophies of a fraud that will soon draw a predator's gaze, gripping viewers in a relentless dance of deception and dread. In Lake Andes, South Dakota, a sinister unease creeps into Britney Atkinson's idyllic life as Richard Hardy, a reserved newcomer, settles into the house next door on December 9, 2023. His silent vigilance, standing motionless in his yard, eyes fixed on Britney's old Meadowview Estates home, ignites a spark of paranoia in her carefully curated world. This true crime saga, a cauldron of conspiracy and betrayal, simmers as Britney, now Sunderland, senses a threat to her $650,000 insurance fraud and her 12-year marriage's buried secrets. Richard's presence, a quiet menace, sets the stage for a murder mystery that will claw at Lake Andes's tranquil facade. Britney's days, once filled with client pitches and playground smiles with her son, grow shadowed by unsettling events. Keys vanish from her Prairie View kitchen, silent phone calls jolt her awake, and cryptic notes, "I know your sins," appear in her mailbox. She dismisses them as stress, confiding in friend Lysara Holt, who attributes her unease to motherhood strain. Yet, by August 17, 2024, Richard's actions intensify, his figure spotted near her former Garretson home, now vacant, his gaze piercing through the dusk. Neighbor Jackson Creed recalls Britney's trembling voice, describing Richard's haunting stare, a silent accusation she cannot shake. Britney's consulting work falters as she alters routines, avoiding Sioux Falls cafes where Richard lingers, his Dodge Ram a recurring specter. Forensic logs, later recovered, reveal her inquiries to a security firm for cameras, never installed, her fear of exposure outweighing her need for safety. The community, including Torrin Vale, notices her withdrawal, her once vibrant social media dimming. Richard's subtle maneuvers, parking across her street, tending his lawn at odd hours, tighten the noose of dread, each act a calculated prod at Britney's guilt. Her text to Jeff, seized later, betray panic. "He's watching us." Lake Andes remains blind to the wrongful death Britney orchestrated, but Richard's shadow looms, a harbinger of a truth too vile to contain. The true crime narrative surges, each note and glance a step toward a revelation that will shred Britney's empire of lies, ensnaring viewers in a chilling labyrinth where every moment pulses with the threat of a grotesque unmasking. A grotesque omen shatters Britney Atkinson's fragile illusion in Lake Andes, South Dakota, as a blood-soaked prison jumpsuit, its fabric stitched with the jagged shards of John Atkinson's pulverized teeth, lands in her Pinnacle consulting office. Delivered anonymously in August 2024, the package, reeking of decay, bears a scrawled vow: "Your sins breathe." Initially dismissed as a relic of John's reported prison death, this chilling artifact signals a conspiracy's unraveling, a true crime nightmare that claws at Britney's $650,000 insurance fraud. Alongside the jumpsuit, photos arrive, capturing John alive, sipping coffee in Sioux Falls, strolling a lake trail, demolishing her belief in his demise, a murder mystery now ablaze with betrayal. Britney's world, once anchored by her 12-year marriage and new life with Jeff Sunderland, collapses into dread. The jumpsuit's teeth, forensically linked to John, suggest a deliberate taunt, an accomplice's handiwork to expose her fraud without disrupting the staged death narrative. Her hands tremble as she hides the package, its stench lingering like a ghost. Neighbor Torrin Vale, visiting for a client meeting, notes Britney's ashen face, her excuses about a bad flu unconvincing. The photos, time-stamped mere weeks ago, fuel her panic, each image a dagger to her crafted lie. She scours her phone for answers, finding only silence, her text to Jeff unanswered. Investigators, later reviewing Britney's laptop, uncover frantic searches for missing persons and prison cover-ups, her fear betraying her guilt. The jumpsuit, initially logged as fight debris by Yankton Correctional Center's Soren Vane, emerges as a pivotal clue, its grotesque craftsmanship a message from a shadow player. Britney's Lake Andes home, once a haven, feels like a trap, its prairie view windows reflecting Richard Hardy's relentless gaze. His Dodge Ram, parked across her street, becomes a specter she cannot escape, his presence a silent accusation of her wrongful death scheme. Community whispers, led by Viana Quill, sense a fracture in Britney's poise, her social media now barren. As Britney buries the jumpsuit in her backyard, her son's cries echo, a reminder of the life she built on deceit. The true crime saga surges, each tooth a testament to a conspiracy too vile to contain, pulling viewers into a maelstrom of horror where Britney's empire of secrets teeters on the brink of a grotesque exposure, its architect still veiled in darkness. Britney Atkinson's sanity frays in Lake Andes, South Dakota, as the tooth-studded jumpsuit's horror consumes her, a relentless specter in a true crime vortex of paranoia and betrayal. By September 3, 2024, a new anonymous note, "I know your sins," slips into her Prairie View mailbox, its stark warning deepening the murder mystery surrounding her $650,000 insurance fraud. Richard Hardy's unyielding surveillance, his figure haunting Sioux Falls markets where Britney shops, tightens the noose of dread, each glance a reminder of her 12-year marriage's buried crimes. Her once steady hand now shakes, her consulting empire crumbling under the weight of a conspiracy she cannot outrun. Sleep eludes Britney, her nights plagued by insomnia and visions of John's mangled face. She accuses Jeff Sunderland, her husband and co-conspirator, of treachery, their Lake Andes home a battleground of whispered arguments. Forensic logs later reveal her erratic calls to a private investigator, aborted when fear of exposure prevails. Neighbor Jackson Creed observes Britney pacing her driveway at dawn, muttering to herself, her Lexus RX checked obsessively for tampering. Community friend LaSarah Holt, once a confidant, recoils at Britney's wild-eyed rants about being hunted, attributing them to stress, unaware of the fraud's shadow. Britney's routines shift. She avoids public spaces, her client meetings canceled, her social media a ghost town. Richard's tactics escalate, his Dodge Ram a constant shadow, his presence at a Lake Andes pharmacy sparking a near confrontation. A December 12, 2024, note, bearing only a date, sends Britney spiraling, her journal entries, later seized, confessing fears of John's survival. She stockpiles supplies, her home a fortress against an unseen predator. Neighbor Torrin Vale reports Britney confronting a delivery driver, mistaking him for a spy, her voice shrill with panic. The true crime narrative tightens, each silent call and cryptic note a lash against Britney's psyche, her refusal to seek help a testament to her dread of unmasking. As Lake Andes slumbers, Britney's unraveling becomes a beacon for the conspiracy's next act, a wrongful death's echo reverberating through her fractured mind. The true crime saga races toward a precipice, its gory heart pulsing with a truth too horrific to contain, ensnaring viewers in a relentless chase for the architect of Britney's torment, whose shadow looms ever closer. A blood-soaked prison jumpsuit, its fabric laced with John Atkinson's shattered teeth, becomes the key that unlocks Britney Atkinson's house of lies in Lake Andes, South Dakota, as law enforcement storms her Prairie View home. On September 25, 2024, police, flanked by neighbor Richard Hardy, arrest Britney for conspiracy, insurance fraud, and attempted murder, shattering her meticulously crafted facade. The true crime saga, a labyrinth of betrayal and murder mystery, erupts as Richard is revealed as John's undercover ally, orchestrating a 3-year sting with Yankton Correctional Center's Soren Vane to expose Britney's $650,000 wrongful death scheme. John, presumed dead, emerges alive, his staged prison brawl a calculated ruse to ensnare his betrayer. Britney's arrest, captured by a neighbor's ring camera, shows her stunned silence, handcuffs glinting as she's led to a cruiser. Jeff Sunderland, her husband and co-conspirator, turns state's witness, his plea deal unraveling their 12-year marriage's dark heart. Jeff's testimony, chilling in its detail, exposes Britney as the architect of John's embezzlement frame-up, her forged documents and anonymous tips, a masterclass in fraud. Financial records seized from Pinnacle Consulting trace the $650,000 insurance payout to lavish renovations and Britney's marketing campaigns, each transaction a nail in her coffin. Neighbor Vianna Quill, shaken, recalls Britney's eerie calm before the arrest, a mask now torn away. Investigators, led by Jackson Creed, present audio recordings of Britney plotting with Jeff, her voice cold as she planned John's downfall. The tooth jumpsuit mailed to her office is tied to an accomplice, its grotesque design a deliberate taunt to unravel her psyche, though its sender remains elusive. Once charmed by Britney's socialite veneer, Lake Andes recoils as number Justice for John floods social media, with Torrenvale's posts decrying her deception. Britney's initial denials falter under the weight of evidence, her poised exterior crumbling as interrogation tapes capture her stammering contradictions, a testament to a conspiracy too vast to conceal. As Britney languishes in a holding cell, John's survival redefines Garretson's grief, his vindication a bitter triumph. The true crime narrative hurtles toward a reckoning, the tooth jumpsuit shadow a haunting reminder of an accomplice still at large, drawing viewers into a vortex of retribution where justice teeters on the edge of a deeper, more sinister truth. In a Sioux Falls courtroom, Britney Atkinson's empire of deceit collapses under the gavel of justice, her 12-year marriage's secrets laid bare in a trial that grips South Dakota. On September 28, 2024, Judge Naira Kellis sentences Britney to 25 years at Pierre Women's Correctional Facility for conspiracy, insurance fraud, obstruction of justice, and attempted murder, condemning her remorseless orchestration of John Atkinson's wrongful death. The true crime saga, a chilling murder mystery of betrayal and fraud, culminates as Britney's $650,000 insurance scam and tooth jumpsuit horror cement her infamy, leaving Lake Andes aghast at the consultant who danced on her husband's staged grave. The trial, a media firestorm, unveils damning evidence, audio of Britney's cold plotting with Jeff Sunderland, financial trails of the insurance payout, and the blood-drenched jumpsuit, its pulverized teeth, a grotesque emblem of her exposure. Jeff's testimony, secured via plea deal, paints Britney as the conspiracy's mastermind, her forged documents framing John for embezzlement with surgical precision. Neighbors Vianna Quill and Torrenvale testify to Britney's unraveling, her frantic pacing, her accusations, while Lysara Holt laments her friend's fall. Social media, ablaze with hashtag Justice for John, turns Britney's name to ash, Garretson's Meadowview Estates, mourning John's ordeal as a hero reclaimed. John and Richard Hardy, their bond frayed by years of secrecy, slip from Lake Andes, their footsteps quiet but resolute. John's staged death, a feat orchestrated with Soren Vane, restored his freedom. Yet the accomplice behind the tooth jumpsuit remains a phantom, a secret that haunts South Dakota's airwaves. Local forums buzz with speculation, Jackson Creed's interviews fueling theories of a hidden hand in Britney's downfall. Pierre Women's Correctional Facility swallows Britney, reports noting her silence, a stark contrast to her once vibrant TikTok presence, her empire reduced to a cell's cold walls. The true crime legend endures, its gory heart, the tooth jumpsuit's vile craftsmanship, a riddle that binds Lake Andes to an unyielding darkness. Britney's betrayal, a wound on South Dakota's soul, leaves a legacy of dread. The accomplice's shadow is a siren call to those who crave truth's bitter edge, captivating viewers with a final, unshakable chill. If this case gave you chills, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more real crime revelations. Stay curious, stay safe. And always remember, every story hides a secret waiting to be uncovered.